Hello and welcome to News Central Television with me, Blessings Mosugu. The top stories at this hour. Tense talks at Aso Rock as Tinubu and APC governors strategize before NEC meeting. Distribution companies resist state-led tariff talks as Enugu State Electricity Regulatory Commission stands firm on price cut. Mozambique government moves to prosecute opposition leader Venancio Mondlane over post-election unrest. We've got the details in a moment. We begin with political matters. In a strategic move ahead of Thursday's National Executive Council meeting, President Bola Tinubu convened a closed-door session on Wednesday evening with progressive governors. The high-level meeting was held at the Presidential Banquet Hall within Aso Rock Villa and brought together key leaders of the All Progressives Congress, including Chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo, as well as Governors Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos, Biodun Oyebanji of Ekiti, and Dapo Abiodun of Ogun. Now, sources say the meeting provided the president an opportunity to brief the governors on his position ahead of party's NEC meeting, scheduled for 2 p.m. Thursday at the State House Conference Center. One of the major items on the agenda is the selection of a new APC national chairman to succeed Abdullahi Ganduje, who stepped down last month, citing health concerns.
We came as a group formally to condole him on the passing of the former president, President Muhammadu Buhari, and also to discuss on the upcoming National Executive Committee meeting of our party tomorrow, and to get also share some ideas with Mr. President on how best to strengthen our party at the grassroots, at the local government, at the state level, up to the national level. So it's just a convivial discussion with Mr. President towards strengthening our party and to be able to help serve Nigerians better.
Would there be any contest tomorrow, or there be consensus as regards selection of a new party chairman?
It is National Executive Committee meeting. We cannot say what the outcome will be. When you come there tomorrow, you will see.
Now, News Central's correspondent Bettina Nweli joins me to speak more on the development. Bettina, thanks for joining us. What can you tell us about the atmosphere around the Presidential Banquet Hall ahead of the NEC meeting? Are there any notable political movements or arrivals so far?
Good morning or good afternoon, and thank you for having me. There are no political movements yet, but we expect them to start tripping in their numbers anytime from now. Right now, what we have happening in the hall is the finalization of the setup against the meeting that is about to happen in a few hours from now. The meeting is set to start by 2 p.m., so it's expected that anytime from now, people will start coming in. But you can see from the atmosphere in the hall that the setup is pretty much already done, just to wait for the people who are to attend the meeting to come and convey themselves, and then I'm sure that everything will proceed as it should be.
So, do we know more about the president's stance going into the NEC meeting, particularly on the choice of a new APC national chairman?
Well, that's a question that everyone has been asking. The president had a meeting with the APC governors late last night. It was a closed meeting, highly private, but no word yet on who.
Bettina, are you there? All right, we're hoping that we can reconnect with Bettina. That's on the crucial NEC meeting that's currently ongoing or about to kickstart. But in the meantime, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, convened a late-night national caucus meeting in Abuja, attended by 5 serving governors ahead of Thursday's crucial National Executive Committee NEC meeting. The meeting aims to build consensus among party leaders on key decisions, including preparations for the National Elective Convention. The NEC meeting is expected to ratify decisions taken by the National Working Committee. The caucus is part of efforts to foster unity and strengthen the party's leadership structure ahead of the 2027 general elections. Meanwhile, founding fathers and leaders of the People's Democratic Party have met in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, to deliberate on ways of addressing the party's recent decline following a wave of defections. They say that there is a need to chart a new course for the party and end the crisis rocking the party, which has been ongoing for months now. Our correspondent, Sumaya Abubakar, reports. We'll bring you the story shortly, but still on political stories. The wave of defections has continued to hit opposition political parties in both the Senate and House of Representatives. Now, 7 lawmakers from Akwa Ibom, Edo, and Osun State have dumped the People's Democratic Party for the ruling All Progressives Congress. The notices of defection were read on the floor of both chambers as the lawmakers cited on ending crisis within the PDP. News Central's correspondent Idong Joseph reports.
To serve Nigeria with all my strength.
At the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly on June 13, 2023, opposition parties held a majority in the legislature with 182 seats in the House of Representatives and 59 in the Senate, out of 360 and 109 seats, respectively. However, the speedy wave of defection hitting opposition ranks in both chambers raised concerns about the strength and relevance of opposition voices in Nigeria's democracy.
I want to again draw our attention to the constitutional provision in Section 68(1)(g) and remind us that, Mr. Speaker, the laws of this country are in your bosom. I will urge you to exercise that constitutional discretion.
With the official defection of Enikan Basi, representing Akwa Ibom Northeast Senatorial District, and Ekong Samson of Akwa Ibom South, the entire opposition structure from Akwa Ibom State at the federal level has officially collapsed. Also defecting are Francis Fadaunsi from Osun East, Olubiyi Fadeyi from Osun Central Senatorial District, Taufik Ajelosoro representing Ife Central, Ife East, Ife North, and Ife South, Omiri Olunsaya from Atakumosa and Ilesha East and West, and Marcus Onubu representing Esan Central, Esan West area of Edo States. All cited deep-seated and unending irreconcilable crisis within their former party.
I write to formally notify you in line with the provisions of Section 40 and the proviso to Section 68, subsection 1G of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended.
These decisions stem from the ongoing and deeply entrenched crisis within the BTP at the national level.
With these latest defections, the opposition now has lost about 42 seats in the House of Representatives, while the APC currently holds 70 out of 107 seats occupied in the Senate, suggesting that more defections may be imminent. In Abuja for News Central, I am Idong Joseph.
And now, just to reiterate that the founding fathers and leaders of the People's Democratic Party have met in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, to deliberate on ways of addressing the party's recent decline following a wave of defections. They say that there is a need to chart a new course for the party and end the crisis rocking the party, which has been ongoing for months now. Our correspondent, Sumaya Abubakar, reports.
It was a high-level consultative meeting convened to address what party leaders say is an urgent threat to the PDP's survival, the recent wave of defections. From founding members like Bode George, Jerry Gana, and Ahmed Makarfi to current governors and lawmakers, the meeting brought together voices pushing for unity and reform.
We don't want a weak nation, a transformed nation with faith and confidence in itself and distinguished by a culture of excellence in good governance. When PDP is in power, PDP governs well.
We don't have to deal issues and engage in unnecessary squabbles or abuses. But certainly, we want to be visionary, to be straightforward and focused.
And my own appeal to those of you who are here, before we leave here today,
as we go into the next few days, let us agree that leaving PDP is not an option.
With 2027 on the horizon, leaders say internal disagreements, poor communication, and weak party structures must be urgently addressed. The PDP national chairman, Omar Damagun, assured members that efforts are underway to reposition the party.
This conference is therefore not a formality, but a strategic reckoning. It gives us the opportunity to realign with our core values of discipline, loyalty, inclusive governance, and policy-driven leadership. We have spent too much trying to reconcile. Now we must truly do it and move forward.
And I'm happy you haven't realized that there's a problem, then what next? The next is, how do you go around solving these issues? And I believe with the way things are going, we're on the right path.
And I think that the time has come and the time is now that we will develop new wings to fly again.
Once dominant in Nigeria's political space, the PDP now stands at a crossroads. This consultative meeting could signal the start of a long overdue revival or risks becoming yet another missed opportunity as all eyes remain on how the party turns talk into action. In Abuja, for News Central, Sumaya Abubakar.
All right, now News Central's correspondent, Sumaya Abubakar, who put together the brilliant report, joins me now to speak more on this. Sumaya, thank you so much for joining us. What would you say is the most recent development from the story as of now?
Good afternoon, Blessing. Of course, in terms of the recent developments on this caucus meeting, they say that yesterday was not just about the conference. There is going to be a continuous process into putting back the party together. And according to, of course, the former Senate President, Bukola Saraki, he said, we are counting the days until we get it done. So yesterday was supposed to be the kickstarter of how this journey of the PDP is supposed to go. Of course, there were major concerns because this had to be branded as the Fathers Conference, where the people that are still in the party, the people that started the party in 1998 are still there, and they were so passionate about how the party needs to go forward, considering the crisis that has bedeviled and shaken the party. But they judged one of the, founding fathers of the PDP, showed concerns and said, at the end of the day, it's still within the party that they had a lot of people, ruining the party. So the saboteurs are coming from in the internal cycles. So that was the major concern. And also, the former Kaduna State governor also that would be I beg your pardon, Ahmed Makarfi. He said that in terms of what this party is all about, if you're truly passionate about the PDP, then you shouldn't even have to defect in the first place. Also, Bukara hyped and talked on that one. He hit the hammer on that one, saying that there should not be anybody leaving the party now. So yes, there was major concern. They talked about the problems and way to move forward. And we, from the expression of the national chairman of the party, that is Omar Damagun, there was so much concern about what the party has gone through, but then there is a hope for the future. And also the senator, Natasha Udragan, representing the Kogi Central, pointed out that as much as on the federal level, there's been so much noise about people defecting from the PDP to other parties, in her own constituency, there's been a lot of people that have been coming to the PDP. So that was a major win from their own end of the PDP. So currently, this is the situation that is going on in the People's Democratic Party.
All right. Sumaya, we also understand that there's been a wave of defections, and one of the things that everyone is looking forward to after this meeting is to find out how they plan to address the party's decline and recent defections. Has anything been said to that effect, or are we going to have to wait until after the meeting to find out? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Blessing.
All right, would you like me to repeat my question?
Yes, I think you said something about if there's been any headway in terms of the process of the party moving forward.
Yes, so resolving the issue of the, recent defections, because that's what everyone is looking forward to hearing. Have they said anything about that, or are we going to have to wait until the meeting to find out the resolution that they come up with?
Now, in the meeting, what they said was the fact that they need to stop defecting. That was just an agreement, an inside agreement. And there was a round of applause on that decision, showing that everybody is in consensus, saying we are not going to be moving henceforth. And of course, from other parts, where they said that they have actually garnered some people also to join the PDP, which they considered another win. They said in the coming days, there's going to be a strategic move in order to hold on to that party. There was a bit of concern, so pointing out people that are still in the party that they felt are sabotaging the party, but no names were called. But I think because of how dire and sensitive, the plan of the PDP needs to go through or pull through, they were not able to give a deep dive of how it would be. And I'm thinking it's because of the pressmen that were present in that place. But according to them, there's going to be a deeper inner circle, quiet meeting that will be done on finding possible solutions for that particular situation. So yes, currently people are curious and everyone is having all eyes on the PDP to see how they move forward in terms of navigating the political atmosphere and the spread in general.
All right, thank you so much, Mayor Abubakar, for the update, and we'll see what happens after the meeting. It's time now to go on a short break, and when we come back, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission condemns killing of Nigerian traders in South Africa, describes it as unacceptable. We've got the details of this and more after the break. Thanks for staying with us in the news. Now, the House of Representatives Committee on Downstream Petroleum Resources is set to commence investigation into the repair and maintenance of Nigeria's major refineries, which are yet to yield desired results. The committee also says it will seek to unravel bottlenecks, stopping local refinery operators from accessing petroleum products, a situation that has aggravated the continued importation of crude oil, which threatens the sustainability of the operators.
Those concerns that have been raised by importers of petroleum products on sustainability of their business, and those concerns that have been raised by refinery owners that we cannot invest billions and then you are importing finished product which will run us out of business, which is also a very legitimate concern, and that of the retailers and also the transporters. The committee dealt extensively this morning on them and said there must be a win-win, but the greatest win will be national interest. How do we ensure energy stability? How do we ensure attraction of foreign investment? The committee also was worried about the outcome of the turnaround maintenance of the refinery, considering the amount of money that was spent, and then after the jubilation and celebration by Nigerians, including their president, who weren't happy to now hear again that there was need to shut down a few weeks after operation.
Now, the House of Representatives has approved a fresh loan request from President Bola Tinubu totaling $347 million as part of the federal government's 2025-2026 borrowing plan. The approval came during Wednesday's plenary session, where Speaker Tajuddin Abbas read the president's letter to lawmakers on the floor of the Green Chamber. Tinubu explained that the additional funding is needed to cover rising costs in two key national projects. Among them is the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, where project expenses have jumped by $47 million from $700 million to $747 million. The initial financing plan secured commitments of up to $700 million, with the remaining shortfall now expected to be covered by export credit agencies. Also included in the loan is a $300 million provision for the Nigerian Universal Communications Access Project, a major telecom initiative designed to close the digital divide by deploying 7,000 telecom towers to underserved and rural communities across the country. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has progressed a bill proposing the establishment of a specialized national hospital for women in Idiato, Imo State. The bill, sponsored by the member representing Ideato North South Federal Constituency, Ikenga Ugochinyere, recently passed second reading. Its aim is to address maternal and reproductive health issues, particularly obstetric fistula. The proposed facility would serve as a tertiary institution dedicated to research, treatment, and education on women's health. It is expected to play a key role in reducing maternal complications and underserved areas. According to health data, Nigeria faces a high incidence of obstetric fistula, especially in rural communities. Now, in a developing power sector standoff, energy commissioners from the 36 states have expressed readiness to engage electricity distribution companies in talks aimed at settling fair and affordable electricity tariff for residents. The move comes on the heels of the recent reduction in tariffs for Band A customers from 209 naira per kilowatt per hour to 160 naira announced by the Enugu Electricity Regulatory Commission. And while the decision was welcomed by many, it has sparked strong resistance from power generation and distribution companies. Distribution companies in particular have pushed back, warning that allowing state governments to interfere in tariff negotiations could destabilize the already fragile power sector. Despite the pushback, state commissioners remain firm in their stance, saying they are acting in the interest of their citizens. The ERC has also defended its decision, refusing to bow to pressure from operators in the sector. Let's turn our attention to security matters now. Angry residents of Kwantamawa and Kudewa communities in Kurufi local government area of Katsina State took to the streets on Tuesday, protesting relentless bandit attacks that have left them in constant fear. The demonstrators blocked the Dutsima-Katsina Road at Tasha Barau, burning tires and demanding urgent government action. The protest, which lasted over 4 hours, disrupted traffic and drew attention to the growing insecurity in that region. News Central's reporter Rukaya Aliyu Jabia visited Kwantamawa to speak with affected families and residents about their ordeal.
Kwantamawa. To, duharuwa matsala ta ishe mu ba inda za mu zanna. ƴaƴanmu ba su zanna ba. Akwai ni wata gona da aka je huda sai uku ana zuwa ana rugowa da shanu. Dole abincin ma an zudda ana gudu. Ba dama ga sunan ba dama da irin da komi mun zudda. Ba abin da za mu yi. ƴaƴanmu ba su bacci mu ma ba mu bacci ba mu kwana gidajen mu. Ba yadda za a yi mu kwana gida. Kullun dawa muke mu da ƴaƴanmu. Ko jiya ana isha ina isa da ba ƙasa kaga kuma kafata ma kararra ce ba ni iya tahiya sosai. Ya za mu yi mun bar gida ba dole mu tsaya ba. Mun ban mu Allah yi ne. Mun ban mu Allah yi ne. Ga tsoro wanda zai ni haka da wuka ya halbe kai halbe ma dan da ya halbe ma jika. Duka da ƴaƴanmu kan ba su kwana gida. Mu ma ba mu kwana. Dabbobi ba saura, ba wata sana'a kuli nake rabona da yi an shekara, ba yiwuwa. Ba ni da kodari haka nan muke. Aka shiga cikin ciki aka ga abin da ke cikin ciki aka gwada da na'ura bare wanda ke waje yan labai. Wanda ke waje gashi kuma an haska cikin ciki da kayan ciki an gansu kuma bare barawo wanda ke cikin hili. Yan labai haba a ɗauki matakai ba a ɗaukan min matakai na gaggawa. Ma yanzu na dawo da kyan na iso ran kai daɗe. Abin da ya sa muka je lalle azimin dole mu je kaga dai mun kwata rabon mu ma da mazan mu na aure ba shekara ba a ma hidin lokaci muna nan dai muna hakuri sai dai ka ga mijin kai hitsari kai kalla ba dai ka kwana da shi ba ranar duniya muna cikin daji muna kwana da mu da ƴaƴan mu da jikokin mu kaga abu bai ba muna takama da Allah muna takama da ku manyan nan ko ba gaskiya ba to ba ta yiwa an kashe al'amurra duka an raba mu da 'ya'yanmu jikokinmu kai duka dukiya nan ba mu da kami zannuwan kama an ɗauke zannuwan kama an ɗauke shekaran jiya da suka cika garin nan idan ka je ka ga gezar da na shiga wallahi sai ka ce ban da kashi kowa gudu yake ba arziki ba inda za ka je ka tsugunna shin ya za mu yi mu zanna 'ya'yan nan na Allah ne namu ne da su muke karya yanzu sai dai su ba mu mamuci shin sai mu yi zanna gida ran kai daɗe.
All right, News Central's correspondent Rukaya Aliyu Jabia now joins me for an update regarding the situation in Kwantamawa. Rukaya, thank you so much for joining us. Now, can you paint a picture for us? What was the mood like on the ground when you arrived Quantamawa?
In the village when I arrived, I arrived like 5:30 to 6, let's say, in the evening. So the atmosphere there was tense. The residents are just anxious and then they are cautious at first, they were even hesitant to speak with me because they were all rushing to go into hiding. Like they said, they don't sleep at home. So I had to follow them to their hiding place. They sleep in bushes, maybe behind trees and all. So I can't even describe the horrors that these people are going through. I can just say that it's just crazy out there in the village.
So what are the residents saying about the frequency and the severity of the bandit attacks?
Okay, from what they are saying, the attacks have become more frequent, more persistent, and then increasingly severe. Because I was standing there and then a boy like just 14 years of age just rushed to us and tell us that they are coming, we have to go, they are coming. And I and my cameraman were just running helter-skelter. These people are living in constant fear. They are always looking over their shoulders. And the threats are becoming more frequent and persistent. I think that was the reason why they protested at the first place. When you see a northerner protest, then that means that the condition is severe. Because our people, you keep doing things and then they will keep bottling up. They won't.
Okay, can you hear us?
Talk, but these people came all out. Everybody was out and of these attacks. And they told me that nowadays the attacks have become more severe. It has become more severe that whenever they try to go out and protect themselves, they have this vigilante group. So whenever they go to defend themselves, because they don't have the necessary, let's say, what will I call them? The necessary maybe guns and whatsoever. They don't have the necessary tools to fight. So they end up coming back home, most of them killed.
So what is the current situation of security now in Quantamawa? Has calm returned? Have more security personnel been deployed? Are tensions still high?
Sorry, can you repeat yourself?
Yeah, what's the current situation, the current security situation now in Quantamawa? Are tensions still high or is there calm now?
The situation in Quantamawa is still tense. Not maybe the protest, but they are still living in constant fear. They are looking over their shoulders. What is happening? The bandit attack is still happening.
All right, Rukayat Jabir, thank you so much for joining us and giving us an update on the security situation in Quantamawa.
Thank you for having me.
Now, still on security matters, the chairman and chief executive officer of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri-Erewa, has condemned the killing of 2 Nigerian traders in South Africa, describing it as senseless, barbaric, and unacceptable. The 2 victims, identified simply as Austin and Ayo, were reportedly shot dead at close range by masked gunmen in Durban. According to unconfirmed reports, the attackers stormed Austin's office and opened fire, killing both men on the spot. In a statement by NIDCOM's spokesperson, Abdur Rahman Balogun, Dabiri-Erewa said the Nigerian High Commission in South Africa is already looking into the matter. She urged the South African authorities to launch a thorough investigation and ensure the perpetrators are brought to justice. Now, the people of Ngbarakuma and Nsirimo in Umuahia South local government area of Abia State are calling on the state and federal government to fix their road, which has been in a deplorable state for years now. They say the road has slowed down business for them. News Central's correspondent Chinwe Ogele joins me now from the location to speak more on this. Chinwe, thank you so much for joining us. For how long would you say this road has been in a bad shape?
Okay, thank you very much. It's the Barakoma Road, Barakoma and Sirimon Road that connect to a part of Imo State, Obo precisely. And for the past 1 year, the community is saying that this road has been in a very bad shape. And it actually started when the state government showed interest to fix the road. So when they moved in with their equipment and did a little work there, the whole problem started. It began to flood, and the flooding continues in sections, different sections of the road. Where I am standing now, just behind me is a pool of water. If you move further to Sirimo and Aban and all the rest of them, you still see a pool of water like that. So it has created, and the villagers have created so many diversions.
All right, so what would you say has been done about it by the government so far? Chinwe, can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right, what would you say the government has done about it so far?
What has the government done so?
Okay, the government, that is the much they have done. According to the people, they are the reason the road is in this bad shape. And so far, they haven't done anything. It's not as if work is ongoing right now. Everything is at a standstill. And so the people will have to go through this whole.
All right, Chinwe, we're going to have to come back to you on that development on the Abia State infrastructure. But as you can see, the road where she's standing is dilapidated, and calls are that the road be repaired as soon as possible, seeing as it's been in a deplorable state for the longest time. Now, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has signed a memorandum of understanding with International Infrastructural Company to develop the Abuja City Walk, expected to be modeled after the Dubai City Walk. The FCT minister during the event says that the first phase of the project will be completed by May 2026, adding that when completed, it will change the face of the capital. He says that the FCT administration is committed to giving out lands to genuine investors and ending the business of land speculation by developers.
It's a project that is very key for the development of Abuja. If we can have that in this city, of course, Nigerians will know indeed that Mr. President has changed the narrative as far as the development of Abuja is concerned. They will present the CFO and sign the agreement, and they must hit the ground running. We have to see that they are serious, and they've seen that they are very, very serious.
We've seen what Abuja has transformed, Your Excellency, in the last few years under your stewardship. And we believe this is the time that investors have all the confidence that once they come into this space, they will certainly perform brilliantly well and make their return of investment. The aim, as you rightly said, in the renewed hope agenda is to create jobs. There is no way you can do such a project without colossal amount of manpower in all levels, at all levels.
Now, Edo State government is taking a bold step toward tackling food insecurity and revitalizing agricultural education. Governor Monday Okpebholo has inaugurated the Governing Council of the Edo State College of Agriculture and Natural Resources, charging members to develop strategies that will boost food sufficiency across the state. News Central's Aminte Bazwaye has the details.
Established in 1981 by the administration of late Ambrose Ali, the Edo State College of Agriculture and Natural Resources has remained a key institution in training manpower for the state's agricultural sector. The current state governor, Monday Okpebholo, is now pushing to reposition the institution for modern realities. Represented by his deputy, Dennis Idahosa, the governor inaugurated a 9-member governing council at the college's Igoriahi campus in Ovia Southwest local government area. The council will serve a 3-year tenure.
We are very proud that His Excellency the Executive Governor had carefully selected eminent personalities with vast knowledge in this area. We want to thank you for accepting to work closely with the Executive Governor of Edo State to ensure that there is full security in our state. With your support, we know that the Igoriahi College of Agriculture will be able to meet up with the expectation of the people of Edo State.
Chairman of the Governing Council, Anselm Ojezwa, assured that the team will leverage the strategic role of the college to advance the state's food security agenda and strengthen its agricultural value chain.
An educational institution, but it is also designed to give a practical approach to the promotion of agriculture. For those of us, we believe that Edo State and even Nigeria, we are focused on what they call subsistence farming. And that is, it will not sustain our population. So we just essentially have to change the way we farm in this country. That will be our focus.
The college, which operates 3 campuses in Igoriahi, Agenebude, and Uromi, is expected to serve as a hub for training young people in agricultural technology and innovation, equipping them to drive productivity and economic growth in the state. In Edo, for News Central, Ameze Bazwaye.
Coming up on the news, former DRC minister claims political witch hunt in high-stakes embezzlement case. We'll bring you more after the break. Thanks for staying with us. Now, Mozambique's government is seeking to prosecute the country's main opposition leader, Venancio Mondlane, over civil unrest that followed last year's disputed elections. Now, according to a formal notice presented by prosecutors earlier this week, Mondlane is being held responsible for inciting protests against the ruling Frelimo party. Mondlane, who has consistently claimed that President Daniel Chapo rigged the election, was summoned for questioning this week. The protests, which left more than 300 people dead, were the most intense opposition demonstrations Mozambique has witnessed since it gained independence from Portuguese rule in 1975. Frelimo, however, has firmly denied any allegations of electoral fraud whatsoever. Uganda has now unveiled a new HIV test kit that could be a game changer in the fight to ensure babies are born HIV-free. The rapid diagnostic tool is designed to screen for not just HIV, but also hepatitis B and syphilis, all in a single test. The World Health Organization has approved the kit, calling it a major step forward in early detection and prevention, particularly across Africa, where these infections remain a serious threat to maternal and child health. News Central's Bangani's Ziba has more on this important development.
Has introduced a new form of protection for expecting mothers. It is a simple test that screens for 3 major threats to their unborn children, the rapid triple test. This test requires only 1 blood sample and provides results in 20 minutes. It detects hepatitis B, HIV, and syphilis infectious diseases that can be transmitted from mother to child. These infections can lead to serious health complications or even death for unborn babies. According to Uganda's HIV report for 2024, there's been significant improvement in the rates of mother-to-child transmissions. However, there has been a 75% reduction in new cases, which is a promising development. Health experts in Uganda consider this new testing method a game changer, as it will help more women deliver healthy, infection-free babies. Meanwhile, globally, in 2024, it was estimated that 40.8 million people are living with HIV, with 1.3 million new infections and approximately over 600,000 deaths related to AIDS. Specifically in South Africa, over 8 million people are living with HIV, representing about 12% of the population. Globally, initiatives at eliminating mother-to-child transmission of HIV are making progress, and the number of infected children is, however, decreasing. However, in sub-Saharan countries, barriers such as stigma, limited access to healthcare, and socio-economic challenges continue to hinder efforts to eradicate mother-to-child transmissions. In Johannesburg, for News Central, Bongani Siziba.
Now, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, former Justice Minister Constant Mutamba appeared in court on Wednesday, insisting he's innocent as his high-profile trial for alleged embezzlement of public funds got underway. The 37-year-old, known for his fiery rhetoric and hardline stance against corruption, is accused of misappropriating nearly $20 million money meant as reparations for war victims and unlawfully awarding a state contract to build a prison near Kisangani in the country's northwest. Mutamba, who dramatically resigned on June 18 following the launch of the investigation, claims he's been targeted in what he described as a political plot to derail his anti-corruption agenda. Ironically, the former minister once called for the execution of public officials found guilty of looting state funds. Now he finds himself at the center of a corruption scandal in a country frequently ranked among the world's most corrupt, according to Transparency International. And to stories outside the African continent, tensions flared again in the disputed Emerald Triangle as Thai and Cambodian forces clashed on Thursday, injuring 3 civilians in a rocket strike. Thailand accused Cambodian troops of launching the first attack and deliberately targeting civilians, while Cambodia claimed it acted in self-defense against Thai incursions. The skirmish follows a diplomatic fallout after Thai soldiers were injured by landmines allegedly planted by Cambodia. Now, Thailand expelled Cambodia's ambassador and recalled its envoy, prompting Cambodia to downgrade diplomatic ties. Thailand's acting Prime Minister Phumtham Wechayachai has called for respect for international law amid the growing crisis. The renewed conflict has deepened political instability in Thailand, raising concerns of further escalation along the volatile border.
The Royal Thai government condemns in the strongest terms the violations of Thailand's sovereignty and international law following the laying of anti-personnel landmines within Thai territory that caused injuries to Thai military personnel, while Thai soldiers were patrolling on the 16th and 23rd of July 2025.
Currently, the Cambodian side has deployed heavy weapons, such as BM-21 multiple rocket launchers and 122mm artillery, causing damage to Thai civilian homes and public facilities along the border, including their residential houses, as well as the border area development center in Kap Cheng district in Surin province. The Thai side has evacuated civilians from affected areas for safety. However, there have been 3 serious injuries, including a 5-year-old boy, and 1 death reported in the Phnom Dong Rak border community in Surin province.
And to business, Ghana is set to reform its mining laws, shortening license durations and mandating direct revenue sharing with local communities, announced Lands and Natural Resources Minister Emmanuel Arma Kofi Boa on Wednesday. The overall 85% complete targets future contract respecting existing agreement, unlike retroactive reforms in Mali and Burkina Faso. Ghana, Africa's top gold producer, aims to boost output to 5.1 million ounces in 2025. The changes include scrapping automatic license renewals, reducing mining lease terms from 30 years, and abolishing development agreements to fund local projects directly. A new medium-scale license category and reduced stability agreement for investors are also proposed, aligning with West Africa's push to capture more value from rising commodity prices. And to sports now, Super Falcons players visited South Africa's Gabriel Salgado in hospital on Wednesday, a day after the winger sustained a traumatic injury during the Women's Africa Cup of Nations semi-final clash in Casablanca. The Nigerian players presented Salgado with a signed Super Falcons jersey as a gesture of solidarity and goodwill. The visit, which took place at the Mohammed University Hospital, was a continuation of the team's emotional response to the incident on the pitch. The team also extended heartfelt solidarity to Banyana Banyana with a statement signed by the media officer Mary Akinshola, noting that the entire delegation, players, coaches and staff were profoundly saddened by the distressing sight of the injured player being stretched off in pain. Salgado underwent successful surgery on Wednesday in Casablanca, where she remains under care and will recuperate until she returns to South Africa with the rest of the Banyana Banyana squad next week. And that's all on the news at this hour. But before we go, let's take another look at some of our major stories. Now, we told you tense talks at Aso Rock as Tinubu and APC governors strategize before NEC meeting. We also mentioned distribution companies resist state-led tariff talks as Enugu State Electricity Regulatory Commission stands firm on price cut. And finally, we reported that Mozambique government is set to prosecute opposition leader Venancio Mondlane over post-election unrest. Remember, you may send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. Also, do well to follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You can watch News Central live on DSTV, channel 422, GoTV, channel 23, StarTimes, channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I'm Blessings Osugu.